Now, I will say this. Sometimes it's harder for a woman to accept help or to accept some things from men because of they've had to do it themselves for so long. And you can't be mad at that. And when we was talking about respect earlier, that's one of the most disrespectful things you can do to a man because there's no reaction he can give. If you're getting everything you want and desire at home, you don't have to go out and get it. Somebody said, well, what if you're doing everything right at the house and he's still going out? Then you're not doing everything.
Hey, y'all, welcome back to another episode of You're Gonna Need a Drink for This. It is a Sexy After Kids Momcast. I am your host, Apple Daniels. Super excited about tonight's episode because we have a special guest. We got a guy, y'all.
Oh yeah,
we got a
full man over here.
Right, we got a whole man on the show tonight or today, and we are getting ready to talk about what do men want. Per usual, I got my girl Lynette in the building, and like I said, tonight we have DJ on, and I'm going to go ahead and let him intro himself as only he can. So tell us who you are.
I'm DJ David Johnson. I am from Atlanta, Georgia, but I'm presently residing in California. I am one half of the DJ and Bone podcast. And yeah, it's just me. I'm just a simple guy trying to be fly. That's it.
Listen, I already know this episode finna be insanely crazy. So y'all know the drill. Before we get started, I'm gonna ask you. We will be hospitable hosts and ask DJ, what is in your cup tonight, sir?
Well, I see how classy you ladies are, looking all classy and everything. So I wanted to bring a little hood to you and just straight red carpet for y'all today. And
okay.
We got a little ooh la la on the
little
inside.
Brown, little clear. Which one?
A little clear.
A little soft. Okay,
clear. Yeah. We staying clear over here. Okay. I like to see clearly.
Okay.
So we're gonna stay clear.
That's what's up. Lynette.
Tonight I'm on some green tea.
Okay.
Green tea.
Okay, I'm with that. Lynette is since you don't know, DJ, Lynette is our tea, water, coffee. Okay. We stay in that lane for sis. Okay. Yeah. And so I have my red as usual. I actually have a big glass of red tonight.
Yeah, that's a nice size.
It's a huge glass. Listen, I felt like I was going to be sipping a lot tonight. So I said, let me make sure this is prepared.
Right.
This conversation came ready. So yeah, I mean, listen, we just going to kick it off. And Lynette, I know, you and I talked a little bit and we were like, okay, we want to have a guy on this episode. We want to make sure that it's not just us as women trying to figure out what men want, but we wanted to provide the listeners with like some real advice from, a man that got some sense, right? A little bit, right? Got some sense, but really just have an open conversation about like, what in the hell do men want, you know? So Lynette, tell me, like, what is your thought process, or like, what are some of the questions that you had when you came to the table with this topic?
So this topic comes from the fact that it's like a lot of men obviously they have different wants and needs, and that's fine. But what I find mostly is men come with this narrative, and again, true, false, it depends on who you're talking to, where they want the woman who's educated. They want the woman who's natural. They want a good woman. And again, that can vary depending on who you're talking to. The one who can cook, clean, the basic stuff, that sort of thing, who's in her soft life, femininity, that whole sort of thing, whatever the case may be. So then you get a guy and he seems to have his stuff together, right? Or so you think. So you're talking to this guy, and at some point, it's like he's still not satisfied. And let me be clear, this is separate from somebody saying he's just not that into you. Or, well, yeah, as long as you stick around, he's going to continue to string you along. This is literally something that is happening. It's like it's almost like some men are just saying that just to say that, or it's like they say it, it sounds good because everyone else is saying it. And I'm trying to understand, like, okay, so what exactly is it that men want? Like, you say you want this, but then your actions show different. And this is not just with me. I'm just saying I've seen this. It's happened to me before, but I'm saying I've seen this happen a lot, you know, or maybe it sounds good to this guy. So, you know, people flock to this person over here, like, yeah, we want this and we want that. But good and well, you still trying to be for the streets. You know what I'm saying? Or you want the woman over here who's being extra. Like, what is it? And part two. Part two, a lot of times you'll get these women who are like, okay, you know what? Men want X, Y, and Z. So they literally perform with X, Y, and Z, right? But those are the ones who get taken advantage of. But then if you come off to where you're constantly popping off, you're the whole and blah, 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 and you always got something to say, you don't listen, and the whole 9 yards, those are the ones that seem to get the respect from men. And it's true. And I'm not saying all men, but I'm just saying the ones who are like with the business and not playing them games, those seem to be the ones that get the respect.
I'm so proud of you. Let me say, because you said with the business, because we know, sis.
You know that hurt. You know that hurt. In my head, I was like,
loves you tonight. Okay.
Do I need to watch my mouth when I'm talking?
Not necessarily. We heard that the sponsors don't like it, so we try to.
I won't cut up too bad.
But we do cut up on here, so
I certainly do.
Okay. Are you wanting me to respond to that? That was quite a bit.
Well, you can start. No, you can start wherever you like. Wherever you like, however you like.
I think you gave a lot. I think you said a lot. There was so much, and I didn't write down. I didn't know you was going to give it all to me right then in the beginning. But I will say this. I think it goes both ways. I think you have men that play those games, and I think you have women that play the same games. Unfortunately, I feel like the internet and social media has changed, or should I say, it has tainted the way that we look at dating and the way that we look at each other now. I just don't. I hear all those things that you're saying, and I've seen those things happen. But I can tell you straight up, those same things that you're saying has happened to me. I can tell you that I've had women who say this is what they want. They want this relationship. They want to be doing this, but then that ain't what they just want to be catered to. They want somebody to take care of them. So all the list of stuff that you just named, I can do a whole nother list about women doing the same thing or the opposite of what they're saying. But I think the problem is that's the social media, because it's put men against women in so many areas, like we don't need each other. And I think that's the flaw. I think part of the problem, my biggest thing right now is it's not I'm just trying to find a young lady to settle down with. There's a connection that I look for. There is a of course, I have my list of things that would be nice to have. I would hope everybody does, but there's a connection. There's a vibe that I look for with the young lady. And sometimes you have to be around them a little longer. It just doesn't happen the first time. But when it does happen the first time y'all connect, I think it's cool. But sometimes you got to hang out and say, oh, okay, because both of y'all got to let your guards down. I'm a firm believer that you don't really get to know nobody until after 90 days. They put they mask on at least for 90 days. And that's just if they really trying to, trying to get somewhere or accomplish something. So I 100% agree with what you're saying. I do. I think it's a lot of cats out here that's playing games. I think it's a lot of cats out here taking advantage of women. I think it's a lot of cats out here playing with emotional feelings. Will I say that's the majority? Nope, I ain't gonna say that, because that means I would have to say the same thing about women. That means I would have to say that most women are playing these same games. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make that generalization. However, I am going to say that we are doing the same thing to each other. The same thing. And I blame it on social media. I blame it on the media and Hollywood and entertainment, demasculizing men. That's not even a word. What's the word I'm looking for? Y'all help me. Demasculating. Yeah, I blame it because it's making us switch roles. It's making you, and I hate when people say I want a soft woman or a woman in her feminine energy. Man, get out of here with all that.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute now.
That's all men.
Get out of here. Because let me tell you.
Because I'm a soft woman.
I ain't saying, but I'm saying I don't need to characterize you as a soft woman and as a woman in her soft or her feminine energy. I don't need to characterize you as that. That's to me, it's all stupid. It's playing games because now we always trying to put people in boxes. And I think I have so many, and Apple, I have tons of female friends, and I've watched some female friends get hurt. I've watched some female friends have to take care of their kids. So for a man to come and say, you too masculine. Well, what the hell does that mean? You too, because she take care of her kids, because she pay her bills, because what is it? Now, I will say this. Sometimes it's harder for a woman to accept help or to accept some things from men because they've had to do it themselves for so long. And you can't be mad at that. All my friends know if you're around me and I catch you opening the door, I'm gonna give you shit. Because you shouldn't be opening doors. I open your door. I open your car door. Open your if we going somewhere, I'm opening that door. I'm pumping the gas. That's how I was taught. I'm from the South. That's what we do. But everybody's not like that, and I understand that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to tell a woman she's too masculine. Now, I will say this. If I feel like a woman is just hard, I'm just gonna my energy changes. I'm not going to tell her you being too hard. I'm just going to be like, relax. Just relax. Ain't nothing happen. I mean, relax. Because what is it that she's doing that you consider, masculine energy? So I think it's all dependent on the dude and how he reacts to the things. But I'm in 100% agreement. So if y'all thought I was going to disagree with that, I ain't. Because but I will say this. Y'all do the same thing. I told Apple this. I said, it's piss in the dating pool. This pool is pissy. And trying to go out and try to find somebody and try to connect with somebody is hard because just like, last year when they was doing the whole Applebee's or cheesecake on the first date. Let me tell you something. Oh my God. I wish a woman would complain if I'm paying for it, I don't give a shit where we going. You better relax. I don't know you. I'm trying to get to know you. If we're going to go to Starbucks and have a drink, that's what we're going to do. If we're going to go to somewhere and just meet up, I don't know you. I don't need to spend $200 on you the first time we connect.
Now, I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. Like the first date, you're just getting to know someone. That whole let's be extravagant stuff, like that's extra out. So I literally agree with that. There's no need to go all out. You're just literally getting to know someone, especially if it's like the first encounter that you guys are having. Why are we spending $500 and all this other stuff on extras to eat? Like we're just getting to know each other. So the first date, it's kind of like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like if I went to Starbucks, I'm good.
So I've gotten into this new thing. Well, not so much anymore, but I had this thing with first dates where I like walking dates. I'm not even gonna lie. Let's go for a walk somewhere. Let's meet up at the local park and walk around and just talk and get to know each other and no pressure. And then if after about, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, we want to stop by a Jamba Juice or a Chipotle or something real and listen, I love nice things.
I've done that.
I love nice things. I love nice restaurants. I love going out.
So do I.
But I don't want all that pressure in the beginning. I think a younger me, and I said this on the last episode, there was a younger me who valued all of that initially. Me now, I just want to get to know you first. Like, I just want to know, like, what's your thought process like? Because I may not even want to be around you in 2.5. Listen, I'm temperamental. I may not want to be around you in a little bit. So we don't have to do all that. Give me something to look forward to,
Yeah. And another thing is it depends on what this dude has been through in his life. It depends on what he's experienced. I've been married and I was married for 15 years. So coming out of a divorce, and starting to date, there are certain things you look for now that you don't look for like before you got married.
Ain't that true?
One thing that I know for a fact. Oh, is that me? Yep. Sorry, y'all. Ghetto. So one thing that I know that I look for now is, so there was a time where appearance was everything.
Mhm.
I mean, there was just certain things I wanted you to have, you know, for me to be attracted to. Where I'm not there no more. You know, you don't have to have all the ass and, well, you know what I mean. The most things,
I was about to be
things
like,
that
don't
most
lie,
guys,
don't
I was
lie.
just listening. I was like,
No.
where you going with this
Don't
one?
tell no stories on this
you
show.
don't. No, I'm saying you don't have to have it. But if I'm attracted to you, then I'm good with that. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So there has to be something that attracts me to you. It may not be your physical. It very well may be your inner person, but I have to be physically attracted to you, of course. So I don't want to downplay the physical, because usually it is a physical that attracts us to people, you know, that gets us to talking and laughing anyway. But the physical won't keep me. That's for sure. That I will not go through that again. Mm-mm.
I think at a
No,
certain age, though, the physical doesn't keep anyone on either side, right?
indeed.
I'm sure you could say this about women. I've met a lot of fine men who just,
No,
we get on
I
a
haven't.
date. He's boring. He has no You're so funny.
Those
He's
are the ones that are
boring.
problematic.
He has no conversation. Not always. Sometimes they just boring because just like really, really, well, I don't know. I consider myself very attractive, but like women do the same thing. When you're used to certain whatever, you don't have to put in a whole lot of work. And so sometimes you get these people who are just not really emotionally intelligent. They haven't taken the time. They don't read nothing. They don't do nothing. They don't watch nothing. There's nothing to them. You just look good. And so we get on this date and it's like, okay, well, have you been anywhere? Well, what have you done in your life? And it's dry. It's dry. And so physical isn't enough. On the flip side, though, let me say, I do have to be attracted to you. Now, I dated somebody who I did not find attractive. He had to grow on me.
Literally.
And I remember saying to my sister, I was just like, I like him. I was like, it's not his looks. I'm not really attracted to him. And then at the end of the relationship, I'll admit this, he played me and I was mad. I was like, this ugly mother.
Right.
I was hot. Like, I gave this man a chance. I wasn't even physically attracted to him. You know what I mean? So so for me, there does have to be some level of attraction there.
Yeah.
I mean, let me ask this though. So I was watching this other podcast and there was a guy on there and he was talking and he was saying that men have very simple needs when it comes to a relationship. He said that men, they want to be nurtured, right? Just because they're now a grown man doesn't mean that they don't want their woman to nurture them. Not that you need to be his mother, but just it's like men have all this pressure to perform for women, but then when he needs to like let his guard down and have a safe space, women are like, oh, well, you need to man up and you need to, you know what I'm saying, put your feelings in your pocket and do all this other stuff. And he has to just always be on. And what men are really looking for is a soft spot for them to land. Not to be sassy, but just a place where he could like rest and not have to battle. So I'm going to ask you, is that true? But also he said the second basic need is that they just want a woman who's going to be nasty.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, I'm gonna answer both of them. I'm gonna answer both of them. I'm gonna answer both of them. So I'll go with the first one first. The first one, the simple need, and I know y'all heard this, and that's basically, no man wants to come home and have to go to bed in his armor. I don't know if y'all ever heard that before, but if and I can only speak as a Black man. There's a ton of things that we got to deal with every day, and please don't take this as I'm not saying Black women don't. I am not saying that at all. So please don't take it that way. But there are some things that we have to go through, and some expectations. Just some people have to go to jobs that they get treated like crap. Just to be blunt, there are different pressure, just the outside world. Let's just say whatever goes on, whatever job you got in the outside world. And when you come home, to have a woman who's just going to come at you and be in your ear or attack you, let me tell you something. That is the quickest way to drive a man away. I remember when I was going through counseling, one of the counselors asked me, because he knew me, he was a friend. Well, he wasn't a friend, but he basically raised me. He was one of the people who was in my life when I was very young. And he told her, he said, do you know that DJ will leave a woman he loves for a woman he respects, that respects him? I'm sorry. So he will leave a woman who respects him from a woman who loves him.
Right.
And she looked, a little bewildered when he said that. And I had to break it down because I was like, hold on, don't be saying that I'm gonna leave her. We ain't even married yet. Don't say that. Don't do that.
Right.
But basically he was just telling her, look, he wants to come home to peace. If you ever see any of my posts when I'm online, I post a lot about peace, fighting for peace of mind. A peaceful place. I have a friend, she don't let nobody to her house because she says that's her place of peace. So you got to be real special to come, to get invited to her house because that's her peaceful place. For me, I'm the same way. I just want peace. I'm to the point now where when I get into any type of relationship with anyone, I don't even argue no more. I don't argue because I'm like, are we talking to see who gonna win, or are we talking to come to a conclusion or a solution? Because if we ain't coming to a solution, then what we even talking for? So I don't argue. I just look and I say, okay, I hear you. And if I need to let it process, then I'm going to do that. So there's some things, there's some rules that I try to lay down just to try to keep the peace. Because it's both of us that got to work this thing. It's just not on the lady and it's not on the dude just by himself. It's both of y'all. So both of y'all got to be in that, and both of y'all got to come to the conclusion of what you want, what he wants, what he needs, what she wants, what she needs. I hate the term happy life, happy wife. I hate that. I hate that because but everybody says it. We hear it all the time. Everybody says it, and it leaves the man out because it's all about making the woman happy. I always get in trouble when I talk about this and talk like this, but it's not that I don't need no woman. God knows I need a woman bad. I need a woman bad, not just a little bit. I need a woman bad. But I'm gonna tell you, listen, I could struggle all by myself. I could do this thing. I can come home to no screaming in my ear and still have the same bills due. So I'm all about peace. Peace. Most men, when you ask them what do they want out of a woman, I'm gonna tell you they're gonna say peace. They're gonna say a safe place. You can't tell a man this is a safe place and then he start crying, and then y'all get into an argument and you call him a punk. That's what you gonna do, start crying? You gonna start crying now? You can't do that.
I can't even imagine someone. I don't know. I personally, I couldn't do that to anyone, man or woman. Like, I feel like when someone is crying and having an outward expression of emotion, like that is like the ultimate vulnerable, especially at our age, right? Like that is the ultimate. I am here with it. Like I get concerned. Like if a man is crying, and this isn't a pick me statement, I get concerned because in order for a man to cry or have that level of vulnerability in front of me, that means you are here with it. Now I'm like, you good? Like, obviously if it's my man, I'm gonna have a different, my you good is going to be a little bit softer, right?
Yeah.
But it's a, are you okay? Are you good? Do you need anything? Because now I'm concerned, because now I don't know how deep the pain runs, and I don't know if your mind is on something very tragic or if this is just a moment that you're having. I get very concerned when men start crying because it's like, oh shoot, like it's a serious. this is serious. This is
Mm-hmm.
different. Like I cry on commercials. You give me a good commercial with a sentimental music, I'm in tears. In the movies, especially the older I get, a good movie, I'm in tears. Romantic song, I'm in tears. So for me, you know, I cry all the time, right? But if I seen a man crying, it's like,
Hmm.
yo, like I need to really pause and let's have a conversation and let me let you talk and get all this off of your chest. And then we're gonna
Yeah.
figure out how to fix it because I'm at this point now, I'm scared. Like I don't want to be like, "Oh, no, it ain't no big deal," and then walk away and then something tragic happens and you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it was a very
Yeah.
so that's my thought process on that. But I think in terms of the peace thing, and then I'm gonna let you answer the other question, but I don't know, do you feel like it is a male thing or is it because all three of us have been married before. All three of us were married long
Okay.
term, right? And all of us are no longer married. And I can say that in my relationship, I don't even want to fight with you. Like if we are at the point where the argument is here, like we need to stop, we need to pause, we need to figure it out. Like I have no desire to argue or fight with a man because I did that. Right? That's why I'm not married no more. I
Hmm.
did it for a
Yeah.
very long time. So I don't want to argue or fuss or fight with a man. I want to always get along. I want to have open communication. I want to make sure that both of us are getting our needs met. And I don't know. Do you think it's a either one of you? Do you think it is a man thing or is that peace thing just after a certain age, after a certain point, after certain experiences? Listen, if you ain't coming
Yeah.
here, quiet, sitting
Yeah.
your ass
Yeah.
down somewhere, I don't want to be bothered with it.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
Lynette had asked, she's asked very straight, what do men want?
Very true.
And what I'm telling you, I mean, there's some other things, characteristics and stuff, but my main, and this is just DJ. This I ain't even speaking for all men, but I guarantee if you took a poll, I guarantee at least 7 out of 10 men, they're gonna say peace. I
Mhm.
want
Mm-hmm.
some peace. I don't want to have to fight and argue. Um, I've seen a woman tear a man down in front of folks.
Mm-hmm.
And when we was talking about respect earlier, that's one of the most disrespectful things you can do to a man because there's no reaction he can give. That would be fair. He can't cuss you out. He can't yell at you. Damn sure can't put his hands on you. So there's nothing he can really do that's fair in those situations except leave, walk out. So, but in this situation, the dude start crying because something else was happening that she didn't know about. And she made the statement, what you gonna do? Oh, there he go crying again in
Mm.
front of folks, in front of
Wow.
people.
Wow.
And I was flabbergasted. I was like,
Right.
dang, is this what happens over here? Is
But
this what
not
it goes
not again, because when you say there you go crying again, it's like,
on?
damn, you
Mm-hmm.
telling everybody that like you making
That
him
he
sound like he
cries.
just be walking around the house crying all the
That's
damn
what it,
time.
and that's exactly what it sounded like. That's exactly what it
Wow.
sounded like.
Yeah, that's not cool.
And he was a
That's
big
not
dude
cool.
too. He was
So I
big.
have another question. So speaking of what you're saying about peace,
Mm-hmm.
and this is not. I don't want to turn this into a well. What about us women? Because
At
it's
Mm-hmm.
all.
literally not that. Okay.
Uh-huh.
But I do want to know what. Obviously, men want peace. Men deserve peace. I'm all on board for that. But
Mm-hmm.
don't you feel, or do you not, that men need to give women a foundation for that peace? You
Absolutely.
cannot be, this pain in the ass for the streets or all over the place, whatever the case may be, and then be like, woman, where's my peace?
Yeah,
Where you
you
go
can't
again?
terrorize me. You
Yeah.
can't be a terror to her.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. But that's why I said, I'm a firm believer, and I think relationships should have communication rules. And what
Mhm.
I mean by that is there should be rules set by the both of you that you both agree on. Okay, if
Mhm.
she comes home from work, your first word should not be what's for dinner. You that's not how you throw that. That don't roll off good. If he comes
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
home from work, your first word shouldn't be, did you pay this bill?
Mm-hmm.
So there has to be rules. There has to be compression time where you can address certain things. I think both people, if you at peace and I'm not, then the house is not at peace.
Right.
If I'm at peace and you not, then the house is not at peace.
Right.
So there has to be a way that both of you have to communicate what you both need. Your peace may not be top of yours. That may not, yours may be, you may want quality time. You may, it could be, I don't know, it could be a bunch of stuff, but you both have to come to the realization and you have to agree and get those rules out. Because see, I think, and I'm not going to deep dive into my marriage at all, but I think a lot of times what happens, I just think we forget the rules. We start with the rules and then we take them for granted, and then slowly but surely those rules just leave to there's no more rules, you know. And then when the rules are gone and nobody's following the rules, then that's when shit just goes, you know.
I think that has to do with just settling in though on both parts. Like sometimes you forget those things, right? You get, like you said, you get used to the person, and so you low-key kind of start taking it for granted. You settle into a relationship, settle into your routine, right? I'm a big fan of, and I didn't do this in my marriage, but I'm a big fan now of relationship check-ins. Hey, you good?
Yeah.
You good? We good? Is there something I need to know? Like, how you feeling? You know, if a statement is made, it's like, okay, well, does that like flat out, does that statement apply to me? Because if it does, then let's talk about it. Right. Versus me, especially me being a Virgo, like in my head all day, like, well, what do you mean by that? Well,
there she go.
Big Virgo. Big Virgo. The September Virgo. He's
oh Lord. Oh Lord, have mercy.
September. Big Virgo gang.
Yeah.
No.
Is he like an August Virgo or something? Are you August Virgo?
Listen.
That was real obvious, and I don't even know. That's what I was like.
Listen. My birthday is August 23rd. I'm on the day that one supposedly ends and one begins. So they say I'm bipolar. You know, they say I teeter. But I don't know. I'm DJ. That's what I am. I'm
DJ. Stay in the Virgo, because them August Leos is not from the hood. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know who sent them. I'm a July Leo, and I cannot with the August Leos.
Look, he be like a what? A who?
What? Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
Oh no, it's not.
I do.
That's hilarious.
I do want to say this. The question you had asked about the nasty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, is it too soon?
No, go for it. Let me take a sip. Don't need a drink for this.
I'm going to say that's a positive and that's a need.
Right.
So, and let me also say this, because I am, thank you. The big screen. I like the big screen on that one.
Right.
If you're getting everything you want and desire at home, you don't have to go out and get it. Somebody said, well, what if you're doing everything right at the house and he's still going out? Then you're not doing everything. I don't care. You're not going to tell me that you're doing everything, because it may not be sexually that you are not meeting.
Right.
And then after that, and this goes for guys and girls, then you need to check your picking meter. You know, if this the person you chose, did nobody else choose this person for you? You chose that person. You chose to give them a shot. You chose to lay down with them and do all these things. So, for me, the nastier the better.
Lynette, you know when you drop with
Mom, I hope you ain't looking. That's all. I mean, listen.
Okay.
So
wait. Now you also have those men to where when it comes to nasty stuff, they want it, they like it. It's that, but you've heard that there are some men out there that do not want to see their women in a certain light. Therefore, they go and get it from somebody else. And then they go back home.
The Madonna whore. And I want to run that back on another episode. We might have to bring you on for that. The Madonna whore.
What's the Madonna whore?
So the Madonna whore is basically a concept, like she said, where you have your wife or your woman on such a high pedestal that all the freaky, nasty stuff that you want done, you don't want her to do it because you see her as this angelic creature and she's just, she's just here with it. And so,
or it may be fetishes that you don't want her to know about.
That must be a Jalalio. That must be a Jalalio.
Listen.
So the man goes out and then he gets his nasty, freaky whatever with basically a side chick.
So, and I'm gonna say this again. Listen, y'all, we are the times is different right now. It's different.
They are.
People are doing like some weird stuff.
Any reason to be stupid or mean or cheat or whatever.
And that's where you got to come to your meter. You got to find, you got to get your do. You got to watch them flags. Because I'm going to tell you, I have female friends who ignore big ass flags. and I will say to them, really?
Yeah.
Right.
Is this really? Did you see how he snapped at you? I don't care how harmless you feel like it was. I'm standing here. Because I'm gonna say something. So I've had friends tell me, DJ, no. Because I don't play that. You don't talk to my friends any old kind of way. You don't treat my friends any old kind of way. So I believe there are, and this just ain't ladies, because men do the same thing. I've done it. There are flags that come up. We see them, but we're so wanting. We desire to be with someone so much. We say, okay, maybe I'll change. It'll change. Maybe they going through something, and we just ignore the flags. So I ain't hearing that whole Madonna. I want my girl nasty as she can listen. As she can. Oh shit! I mean, and listen. I ain't trying to go do a bunch of people because I'm a germaphobe. So I can't be the germs. No, I can't be having 12 people. And plus, I don't like to remember. I told Apple this. I ain't trying to remember everybody's favorite color, all their kids' names, all their birthdays, what your favorite restaurant is, where you from, where you grew up, how many that's too much.
Let me tell you, I've gotten to a space in my dating where I don't even ask until I determine that I care about you. Like I'm not even asking I'm not even asking the questions. I don't want to know. I don't care. Like, sir, I don't care.
I'm asking to rule it out. So
no, here's the thing. I'm gonna ask when you was born, right? I want to know your birthday for sure, because I want to know what I'm dealing with on the surface level. Outside of that, and I may ask how many kids you got and what happened in your last relationship. But apart from that, I don't want to know until I know that I care about you. Now, when I care about you,
that's so much.
And but it's a gradual thing. It's kind of like the more we converse, the more questions I ask, because clearly I'm giving my time. I'm busy, so I'm giving my time being on the phone with you, talking to you, going on dates, doing whatever. So now, I want to know because I'm giving you my time. But in the beginning, first couple conversations,
that's wild.
I don't want to know, sir. I don't care. I don't even care how your day was.
That is wild. I wish I had that built in. I need to start practicing that, because if I can pull that off,
deal with enough narcissists, you'll get it.
It's not hard. It's not hard.
Okay.
You get enough narcissists, you'll learn how I detach very quickly, and I just for me. But I'm all about, to your point, the peace and everything. I want reciprocity, right?
Yeah.
And so I look for
R&B.
So I look for men who listen, you give to me, I'm gonna give to you. Whatever. It's like the better. And to the second question, right? Not my original point, because it came from something I was listening to, but to your point and the original guy's point, the better you treat me, the more you get in them other areas that you're looking for, right? So it's hey, listen.
Yeah, that's why I want somebody who, look, our competition is gonna be who can outdo who and loving on each other. That's the competition from us.
That's dope.
I'm gonna love you harder than you gonna love me. That's the fight we having. We not having that other stupid stuff. You came home, you got these flowers here. Ha ha, I got you. Ha ha.
Ooh, I love that.
That's the stuff we should be arguing and
Right.
wrestling around. I want to wrestle with my lady. When she come home, I want to tackle her. I mean, unless she
Do
tired.
you
But
now?
I'm that guy. I'm not gonna be. I'm serious when I need to be serious, but I'm not goofy, if that makes sense.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just at the point in my life where I've experienced enough to where, listen, I'm not trying. I don't want to go through that. No, life is too short to be putting up with bullshit. And there are some things that are very important to me. How your relationship with your family is important to me because I'm a family guy. If there is an issue, I want to know why. Why is there an issue? I'm not saying we can't be together because there's a issue between you and your family members, but I want to know why, because that's not my issue in my family. And my family is very loving. We're going to embrace you. So why your family not like that? And if it's something, then I'm good. Then I'm going to welcome you in. But I listen, man. And this is because I've been through a divorce and relationships that I've gotten to this point, because I didn't realize, for me, take me down. I don't want to be, but look at myself no more. One of the things that I realized that I need, besides the peace, what is very, 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 very important to me?
What's that?
Gratefulness.
Gratitude.
Say thank you. If I open the door, say thank you. I never knew I needed that until after I got married and was in a relationship. And I was in a relationship with a young lady. And let me tell you, the little things that I was used to doing, her gratitude was out of this world. I cleaned the kitchen. She was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I was like, "You cooked." I'm cleaning the kitchen. Oh my God. She called her mom. And said, "Mom, look at this." And her mom said, "He's a keeper. Keep him. But for me, that was like, I don't see the big deal, but the gratitude behind it. When I left, I called my homeboy. I was like, "Hey, bro, you ain't gonna believe this. This girl was thanking me for the rest of the night. I can't believe you cleaned the kitchen. Thank you. I can't believe you did. Thank you." Look, and I didn't know I needed that, but I found out I needed that.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that her response, right? Because I feel like there's two ways for a woman. Was her response and her gratitude because of who she was as a person, or was her response and her gratitude because you had like she had never had a man who done these things, and so she was just like, oh my, because I know for us women sometimes when we've never had something, and I'm not saying this like you're not a good man, but I'm saying like for us sometimes as women, when we've never when we've never had something, we have a tendency to over exaggerate very small things because either we've never had it or because it's been so long since we've had. Then you have other women who just listen, like, I was raised correctly and I say thank you. You do something for me, and I'm just an appreciative person because I was raised to appreciate anyone who does things for you, whether it's big or small. It's somebody taking their time out to do something for you.
I think it was both. I think my attitude and my willingness to help around, and not be in that man role, the old school, or what do they call it? The it's on all the traditional, the traditional man role and traditional woman role, because I don't care for those things. I just, what needs to be done needs to be done. I think she didn't have that. And I also, because of later, it just wasn't because I cleaned the kitchen. It was other things that I would do. And she would just, and it would be authentic. I'm not talking about thank you for cleaning the kitchen. Damn, I did. Right. I was in there all day. I'm talking about an authentic thank you. It was like a pure, and I could tell, you know what I mean? Because we can feel that shit. And you know what it makes me want to do? Do it again.
Yeah.
Right.
and keep doing it because I know she appreciates it. See, I think that's the thing that's missing in a lot of the relationship is when appreciation is not expressed and we start taking shit for granted and we think you're supposed to do this. And that's where stuff, starts getting a little janky because, oh, why you didn't take the trash out? Because I'm gonna take a shower first. I'm gonna take it out before I go to bed. Don't do that. Yeah. If you ask me to do something, then sit with that and let me do it. Right. Don't unless it's an emergency. Don't try to put your time limit on what you've asked me to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Give me an opportunity. Now, if I don't do it, then come back to it. But don't take the trash out now. Can you take trash out before you watch the game? Why? What's gonna happen in the hour that the game go off and the trash? What's going ready to happen? Is it something in there? Is there a reason? Now, if it's something that the fish is in there and it's gonna smell up the whole house, okay, we'll say that. Hey, DJ, it's fish in the trash. You might want to take it out or it's gonna stink the whole house up. What's wrong with that? Instead of just saying, take the trash out. Can't there's just certain things and when y'all are battling to love each other, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. Because you can say, hey D, I just threw some fish in the trash. Just letting you know I'm going upstairs. Holla. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Simple things. I think we make stuff so hard, but when people get hurt and they have these unexpressed or these expectations that has not been communicated, that's what happens.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
But that's why you do have to communicate in relationships. And it goes back to what you're talking about with the rules. Like, here are my boundaries. Here are my things that I can tolerate, that I can't, right? When you are expressing, your dislike of something.
Why you just roll your eyes? Just who you got in there? You rolling your eyes at on the side?
Nobody. when you're expressing your dislike for something, this is how I need you to communicate that, right? Because I think that's the other thing too. It's not so much that you communicate, it's also how you communicate. Like, absolutely. You have something to say to me, don't call me at 8:00 in the morning. Let me get up. Okay, I'm gonna call Lynette out. So Lynette is a coffee drinker. Don't talk to Lynette before the coffee.
She had her coffee.
Let her get her stuff in. For me, it's not coffee, but it's like, let me get up. Let me get up, walk around a little bit, kind of like celebrate myself. I got to move around a bit because I be all discombobulated, right? Don't come at me first thing in the morning. And I think that's a lot of people. And I'm only using that as a small example. But it's not so much that you communicate. It's how you communicate. It's when you communicate. It's learning your partner. It's understanding each other, right? Yeah. And not intentionally triggering each other, right? Or in a way that would make, I don't want my partner to be miserable. I don't want you to be upset with me. I don't want to start your day off bad. I don't want to have a bad day. Like, let's figure out when we're going to talk about whatever the issue is. Yeah.
Don't call me at work and say the garbage disposal is broke. Garbage disposal broke. So it need to be fixed.
And I'm at work. When you get home.
I'm at work. Yes.
Yeah. What can I do about it right now?
Not a thing.
Yeah.
No, I get it. So DJ, can I ask you another one? This is kind of going in a little same, but something else. So I don't want to use the word intimidated. Okay. But men often talk about how, again, they want women, they want the educated woman, they want the woman who, has ambition, she's this, she's that, and so on and so forth. And let me be clear, I'm not speaking on the boss bitch, or what do they call them?
Oh, that's what they call them. You said that's what they call them. You said it.
So I'm not speaking about them because that's a whole different, that's some next level stuff. I'm talking about just a regular average woman, right? But then when they get one or they run into one, it becomes a problem. And there's a stigma on that because, you have some women who have that boss bitch mentality where it's like, oh, I can do this and I'm amazing because I'm this. And then you have the woman basically like, yes, she has her accolades. She has accomplished a lot. That's fine. But it sometimes becomes a turnoff to men. But then they'll find a woman who basically is, I don't know if it's one of those where they can run over the one who doesn't have much going for herself, but they complain, well, I don't want no woman who ain't doing nothing for herself. I don't want no woman who can't make money and who can't, doesn't have ambition and so on and so forth. It's like some men want a woman that they can walk all over. It's like the less that she has, the easier it is for her to depend on him, and the easier it is for him to basically control her. And at the same time, it's almost like, again, I don't want to use the word intimidation, but you can get where I'm going with this. They get the woman that they claim that they want, who is ambitious, who has her own, money or pays her own bills, who's not playing the Beyonce role of I pay my own bills and shoes on my feet and all this other stuff. But they kind of go toward the woman is lesser than, but still in the same breath, they're like, but I want my woman to be like this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain?
So what exactly are you asking me? Because you said a lot.
I'm asking, what do men want? Again, and I know that different men want different things, but I've yet to hear a man that says, yeah, I want a bum bitch.
Oh, no,
okay?
no, I don't
So
think nobody wants that, though.
It feels like you're asking kind of like, so men will say,
we're damned if we don't. The ones who have degrees, who have careers, who are able to pay their bills and do their own thing. And I'm not talking about the boss bitches with the weird egos. I'm talking about just the average woman who has it together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones that men kind of try to steer clear from. I don't know if it's because of stigma or because not control her all over her as much as they can somebody who is hella dependent on him. What do men want? What does it look like? Like, what kind of woman does a man look for? I mean, because you have some men, I've heard some men say that they don't want their woman to work because they want her to be able to focus on him. And you're not going to give your boss 8 hours a day and then you come home and you're too tired to deal with me. Respectfully, right? But then you have men who are like, no, we're going 50-50 and we're going to do this together and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Then you have the career man. Like, well, he's up here, she's up here, and they're this power couple. But then you have the men who are just like, I want the woman who is up here. And I'm not going to say high value because I hate when people, it's overused.
I do too.
It's so overused. High value this, high value that, super overused. But you'll have a woman who basically has her, right, exactly, right? And it's like you'll have a woman who has her stuff together, and that's what the men say they want. But then they get one of those and they fumble so bad, so bad. And then they go get a woman who is lesser than, who may not be as educated or may not have a career. She just has a basic job or something of that nature. It's like, is it a control thing? Is it really an intimidation thing? Like, what do men want in that aspect? Because we can, those who are educated, I'm not going to apologize because I went to college. I'm not going to apologize because I have my own business. I'm not going to apologize because I pay my own bills. I'm being an adult. I'm doing what everybody else is doing. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I know that was a lot.
It's cool. I understood. Intimidation, I think, again, remember we was talking about the pick-a-meter, right? I think that goes back to your pick-a-meter. So I'll share this full transparency story. So I did not go to college. I have been a hustler since I was 14. And there's just some things that I excelled at, as far as, especially, I never thought I would even be in corporate America. I just got through talking about this Monday. Never thought I would be in corporate America because I never went to school. And my family is more so in the artist side of things, the entertainment. If they're not in church, then they're in entertainment, so that's my whole family. And we have a couple that's sprinkled in corporate America. So growing up, I always had that, I would say, insecurity in the beginning of, no, I'm not going to say intimidated because I wasn't intimidated, but I was a little insecure in the beginning. So a young lady that I was dating, she graduated top of her class from Clemson, and her parents didn't care for me because of my background, because of my history. It was a little spotty. It wasn't too much, but it was a little spotty. And they didn't care for me because here they have this child that they have molded to be. She was in engineering and all these amazing things. So when I went to talk to her father, he told me, he said, DJ, I just want to be straightforward with you. Is that okay? Can we just have open conversation? And my response to him was, as long as it goes both ways, we definitely can have open conversation.
Okay.
And he said, okay, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. So the first thing he said was, you know, my daughter did. What have you done? And I said, you know, that's pretty interesting because you have this misconception of me and who I am. And I said, before you dig into my past, let's just stay with your daughter for a second, because I came out here out of respect for you. I didn't have to do this. When's the last time you talked to your daughter before we came up here?
Oh,
it's been a while, right?
Yeah,
it's been a while. It's been a while. So who's been taking care of your daughter for the last 8 months? Yeah, ask your daughter, who was it that negotiated the contract? And yeah, she's making 6 figures, but who negotiated that for her? Because she was going to take the lower amount that wasn't even 6 figures for what she went to school all these years for, graduated top of her class for, because she didn't have that skill. That wasn't her skill set. But when she brought it back to me, I helped her negotiate what she is now. So all of these things that you're telling me, yes, your daughter is this, your daughter is amazing, but bro, don't downplay what I am. I know who I am and I know what I bring to the table. So I feel like there are some men who want to use that as control. I will say there's some men who definitely are intimidated, but again, these are the men you're picking. You can't blame it on that person. This is who you chose. Yeah, but because it goes both ways, right? You know, I'm not gonna say, Lynette, why all y'all women every time it's about how much money I got, or what kind of car I drive? Why you gotta see my car first? You know what? But it's some things there that you want. You know, you want your man to have certain things, you want your lady to have certain things, but I think there is an intimidation. But for me, I have dated a woman who makes more money than I have. And what I did not like about it had nothing to do with intimidation. It was just, she was just too extra. Everything had to be like she was doing more than what she actually was. See, I'm not here to perform for your friends. And I'm not going to put on this face for your friends. I am who I am. And if you feel like that's what you have to do, then we're not supposed to be together. So it goes according to what that person can take. Yeah, I will say there are men who look for control. There are men who want ladies to stay home. There are men who want ladies to make the money and they don't do shit, you know, but it's a matter of what you picking, what you bringing home. Because if this is what you're going to pick, then that's what you got to deal with. But it goes the same for us, because there are some ladies the same way. I have friends, close friends of mine, who have told me, oh no, I don't plan on working when I get married. He can pay for everything. That is the point of a husband. He take care of the house. When he gone, I'm gonna take care of the house, but he take care of the bills. But so it go both ways. There are more women out there than, well, no, you know. I ain't gotta say you don't know, because you know.
We had that conversation, you know, to whom much is given, much is required. And so if you want a man like that, there are things that come with that, you know. I mean,
but then it comes back to that other question, right? About the whole net, when we was talking about the nasty, if you're doing everything at home, now what are you doing to keep that man who gave you everything, and the only thing you doing is sitting at the crib, cleaning the house and giving
pretty.
them.
Yeah, I mean,
they're
I don't
is
even
that
have
all?
to be a man to know that they're, you know, in those situations, there's so many other things that come with that. Like, you hear about those women and you find later on they were emotionally abused. You know, he was running around cheating, you know, with someone, to Lynette's point, of a lower level, but who was giving him that emotional support in that piece, and who he could
I was just getting ready to say, or was she just giving him peace?
Yeah, who he could just be himself.
I was about to say, it's easy when you're not in a relationship with someone to give them peace and to be their peace because there are no obligations.
That
you
is
could
correct.
be the side chick, and the dude could go to his side chick for peace because guess what? There are no obligations. There are no responsibilities. There is nothing that gives them a reason to not have peace. He goes and gets them a little ass and returns right on back to sender.
And guess what happens, Lynette? Because she knows she the side piece.
Yeah.
And she getting whatever it is she want out of it too.
Absolutely.
So it goes, and that's why I said it's two sides to every
both
coin.
ways. You're right.
You know,
You're
so it's she acting this way, he acting this way. But that's why it's important to have you get your picker together.
Right. So you know what, and there's something that I always say, and I've told this to a friend of mine before, a male friend of mine, and I want to know if you agree or disagree. Because he's a good guy, whatever the case be. And I told him during one conversation, I said, find you a woman who can take care of herself and take care of that woman. My theory behind that is
there's a rapper that said
find a woman that can take care of herself and take care of her. Because my theory behind that is if she could at least deal with the bottom line as far as life is concerned, she can take care of herself. Clearly, she knows how to make money, pay bills, she's responsible, whatever the case may be. By the time he comes in, it's like it's not like a hustle like these bottom feeder bitches.
Well, and then I think she's also more, and we're going to start to wrap it up, but I think she's also more appreciative, right? Going back to that appreciation aspect, because if I can take care of myself and you come in and you genuinely say, hey, I'm going to take this load off of you, not because I have to, but because I want to, my level of appreciation for that is going to skyrocket. And all of that other stuff, the peace, the nasty, the what, like all that's going to come, right? Because I know that you're genuinely doing it because you want to, right? And so when a man wants to, I think his level of interaction with the woman is much different than when he needs to. That's just my thought.
You agree?
I agree. My mantra is I don't want a woman who needs me. I want a woman who wants me. So I don't want you to need me to take care of you financially and need me to do all these things. I want you to want me. I want to be an addition, just like you're going to be an addition to me. I want to be an addition to you so that we can come together and build. Not I need you I need to be with you so you can take care of this bill and that bill, or so that you can take care of the car. Nah, that's like me saying I need you so you can come cook for me every night. No, that's not the way it goes.
You know, hold on. I met this guy one time, and I swear to God, every time we got on the phone, he was like, oh, what you cooking? And when you gonna cook for me? And it was such a turn off.
Because you can cook. You can't be mad at that, Apple.
But it was such a turn off because he didn't know that I could cook. So it was just such a turn off. Like, why do you keep trying to get me over to your house and in your kitchen? Like, this is not what this is.
Because you can cook. How you gonna be mad at that? No, that is not fair. You can cook and you cook good. I'll be saying the same thing. You cooking? What you cooking? What you mean?
I feel like it has to be one of those things where I want to do this either because you're my friend or you're my person. Like the people that I care about and I love, my friends, my partner, my whatever, that's my love language to them. Like for me to invite you to my house and be like, oh, hey friend, hey lover, hey whatever it is, let me do, like that is my love language. But when it starts to become, when you gonna come over my house and get in my kitchen and cook, nigga, never.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's different. That's different.
You know what I mean?
My bad.
So, but,
that's different.
But yeah, I mean, anyway, we're gonna wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
I normally do tips, but I'm not, because I feel like in this episode you've given quite a few tips for the women to listen to. And so just to recap kind of those and let me know if I've missed anything. What men want. We got men want peace. Men want appreciation. They want to be, I feel like even though you didn't physically use the word, but like there's a value level in there. There's a respect level in there.
Yes.
And they want you to be nasty.
Ooh, so nasty.
Not so
That's
nasty.
No
it.
Madonna
So
horrors over
nasty.
here. We want
No
you to be
Madonnas.
nasty
Just
and
nasty.
reciprocal, right? And
Yeah.
reciprocal in the relationship. I give to you, you
Yeah.
give to me. You know, he wants to be wanted, all of that. Did I miss
Yeah.
anything, or do you have any final thoughts, DJ?
No, I think, that's one thing we didn't talk about. So we have to talk about another time, because
We
that
definitely
is
gonna have you back.
another thing. Every man wants to be wanted and desired.
Mhm.
Don't ever let a man fool you into thinking that he doesn't. That's why most men are jealous and have that major streak in them and are so possessive, because they want to be wanted. So any dude that act like he don't want to be wanted, he a liar. Straight up. He a liar. So
Yeah.
we'll talk about that next time.
Y'all heard it
Yeah.
here.
What do you have, Lynette? Final thoughts?
Listen, I was just grateful that DJ was here because we got questions answered.
We did.
Like, honestly, because
I feel like we got real questions answered too.
And I know we're in different parts of the state, but I mean, at the end of the day, it literally applies. It can be subjective, but at the end of the day, there are certain things that, again, Pickens, look who you're choosing. If you find a red flag, clearly that must mean that that's not the one for you. Just go on and let it go, let it burn, right?
Yeah.
And everything else, just let it fall into place. So I think this is very good.
There's so much more to talk about too. We could talk about lists. Like how often do you have a list and then you go away from the list because you're attracted to the person or because of some reason?
Man.
Like standards, things that you don't.
But I think so. God, I said we were ending. Lord.
Yeah, let's end, because that's a whole nother hour.
It is. But I think also, and this is just something that we can circle back to when you return and you come back on the show. I do think sometimes having hardcore lists and having hardcore standards, sometimes your person comes in a way that you don't expect them to. And so you have to be willing to adjust and then also adjust, but still within your boundaries, right? Like clearly hardline red flags, absolutely not. But being able to adjust, because it might not be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It might be 1, 5, 10.
Yes.
7.
I agree, but you have to have your non-negotiables.
100%. 100%.
Your non-negotiable you have to have your non-negotiables.
Exactly. No,
now, I ain't saying I agree. 1 through 10, that might be different, but you definitely need your non-negotiable. I am not dealing with this. I am not dealing with this, and I am not dealing with this.
Exactly.
For sure. For sure. Well, I think this was a great episode. We definitely appreciate you coming on, DJ. We would love to have you back. I feel like even within this conversation, there were so many sub conversations that we could have and turn into other episodes and provide just perspective to the the listeners. But yeah, thank you to everyone who's tuning in. Lynette's going to get on me because I'm really bad about this. Do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified.
Share and subscribe.
Share it. We
Stop
will
being
tag
stingy.
DJ if you're interested in his show, which I'm sure you are. We will tag his show so that you can connect with him as well. The DJ and Bone Show. Yeah, so we will see you guys back next Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And as we always do, let's raise our glasses. DJ, raise your cup. That red cup. All right, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers to more life, more love, making good choices and doing the right thing.
Yes, ma'am. Cheers. Indeed.